Hello everybody, how are you all doing in these lockdown times? I'm filming this in the middle of the 2020 coronavirus crisis that is happening all over the world right now. And we are isolated here in the Scandinavian, the Danish countrysides. And as you may hear, I got my son playing just outside the door right now. So we are trying to cope as best as we can with the crisis and the isolation, and we are doing pretty good out here in the countryside with the big house and the giant lawn and the little forest and everything. So everything is good so far from here. I hope it's good with you too. The best goes from my family to you in these crises, and I hope you're doing good. So stay safe, my friends, and back to the normal things on these channels. Here is my Desert Gator. This was one of the first Tamiya buggies I ever bought and started to upgrade and everything, and it pretty much ended up in pieces at one point when I was building the DT-02 MS, and I used some parts from this, and this one got left in 1,000 pieces in a box for a couple of years. I finally got it up, rebuilt everything, cleaned everything up. I got a part 1 of the build on this channel somewhere, you can look it up, where I built the gearbox and compared it to the other DT-02 and 03 gearboxes. I've had it finished for 2-3 months, and I had some footage of it, of the remaining builds, and I promised Chris, I bet you will know him from your channels maybe, I promised Chris a video about this, because we had some good talks about the suspension of these XB Desert Gator or DT-02s. So this is an XB model. I have changed the motor and the pinion and some ball bearings. That's about it. And some other tires. That's about it. Otherwise it's still an XB, so it's very different from the DT-02 Desert Gator kit, assembly kit that you can get or used to be able to get. I'll just show you some things with the builds, maybe a couple of minutes, 4 minutes of a montage of the footage and film I got left over from this, and I will just put it on the table, and then it's pretty much done. Probably will do a little recap on my main RC channel with this one, because, well, I just am into it very much. So a couple of minutes, 4 minutes maybe, of a montage of the old footage from the winter, and then let's talk about the setup. And here it is, all finished and looking pretty and ready to rock and roll with the torque-tuned motor. Not a fast buggy with this setup, but still a fun buggy with this setup. What I really like about the Desert Gator and the Sand Wiper are the fun factor of the runs and of course the outstanding looks. I think the Desert Gator and especially the Sand Wiper is one of the best looking buggies ever made, at least to my eyes. And are you ready, Chris? So let's just demonstrate our fine dampers, our extraordinary shocks here. I wouldn't call them shocks, but let's just test them. So we got some serious action, especially in the rear. I know it's incredible what you can do with these springs, but some serious action here. And don't worry, Chris and all you others, I will change these springs out for something else in the future. I just wanted to restore it back to pretty much close to its original looks, except for the different tires here. It's actually, I think it's a bit more springy than the original setup, because I actually didn't have the original springs and the original containers for the springs. These are not shocks, these are just hollow containers or holders for the springs, and I didn't have them, so these are actually taken from my Rising Fighter with the DT-02 gearbox and the Grasshopper 2 chassis. And they look similar, but I think it's a bit more springy than the original Desert Gator XB model. I think the originals are pretty close to what came with the Super Fighter G, which was the original and the first DT-02 buggy. So a bit more springy, I think, but this is what you get with this original DT-02 setup, and thank God for the Sand Wiper and Desert Gator, which came after the Super G, which had the adjustable upper arms and metal drive shafts. These have the plastic ones. They actually do the job, in my opinion, just as good as the metal ones, but of course the metal ones look maybe a little bit better. But at least the DT-02 Sand Wiper and Desert Gator, which followed after the Super G, has the CVA oil-filled shocks, and I'm definitely going for that too sometime in the future. With the old setup there, I had a bit upgraded. I had not a torque tuned like this, but a sport tuned and a 19-tooth pinion, and I had the CVA oil-filled shocks, and it was a blast running. So if you got a DT-03, it already comes with the CVA oil-filled shocks or Sand Wiper or Desert Gator kits. And pretty much, in my opinion, all you need is, the Sand Wiper and Desert Gator also comes with ball bearings, so pretty much all you need is perhaps a sport tuned or a torque tuned motor and a 19-tooth steel pinion, and you can go out having some fun. I will have some fun with this setup and show it in some comparison videos on my main channel compared to my Sand Wiper and MS and all the other maybe DT-03s, and I will use it for that. And as soon as I actually have a couple of good oil-filled shocks for these already lying around unused, so it's purely meant for nostalgic reasons and demonstrational purposes, that I refitted them on this. But here we go, Chris and all you other friends. I hope you enjoyed a look at this. There's really nothing special going on here. Oh yeah, one thing you might wanna do with these, both the sand wiper and Desert Gator, because the holes are actually mounted here, so we will get a lot of flapping and not a straight set. So I always add some Velcro to the sides here of the sand wipers and Desert Gators, but nothing really special. We got the standard TB-02 S, and we got a cheap Ghoul RC, and we got a standard 3 kilogram, probably 22nd servo in here. Pretty close to the original, and then again with ball bearings and the 19-tooth pinion. And when I get the shocks fitted, as soon as I have recorded some videos for my main channel with this setup, I'm gonna have a lot of fun. And the idea is, because I have the DT-03 Neofighter with exactly the same setup except for oil-filled shocks, so my son and me can have a lot of fun running the DT-02 Desert Gator and the DT-03 Neofighter Buggy together. Yeah, that's it, friends. Hope you enjoyed the little DT-02 Desert Gator talk and rebuild, and I will see you in another video with this one for sure on my main RC channel, probably, hopefully with some run footage, and you will see these absolutely outstanding springs in action. I hope you are safe in these times, or better, stay safe, and I will see you in another video. The best from Denmark to all of you.